Hi, everybody. Alan Denman here, writer and novelist. Welcome to the Hero's Journey, bringing you thoughts, insights, and inspiration into the ancient and modern art of storytelling. So, it's called the Hero's Journey, and I've talked about this in the first couple of episodes because the hero's journey is a very ancient and also very relevant and contemporary story template because in many ways it reflects life itself. And this, in my view, is one of the great purposes of story. And storytelling, of course, can be pure escapism. We want to forget about our woes and we read a novel and escape for a few hours every day into another world. But story is more than that. Story is a way of modeling reality, answering questions, the big questions, even the primordial questions like, how did we get here? Are we a sort of biological accident? Were we bioengineered? We're going into science fiction there. So this is, I think, the deep purpose of story, to really answer some very big questions that we all think about unconsciously. We may not discuss them over a meal or a pint of beer or whatever, but we do think about these things. They're present in us. Who are we? Where do we come from? And what happens after we die? Where do we go? So these are very big questions, and I think one of the purposes of story is to answer these kinds of questions. And so we're looking today, as the title of today's episode is What is Human? And I would say that we're still trying to find that out. We've been thinking about this. Philosophers have been asking questions, psychologists, neuroscientists. Are we just sort of electrochemical signals in the brain? Are we physical beings? What is consciousness? And so forth. So I think we're still trying to find out who we are. So that is the question, the big theme: what is human? And I use that phrase because it is the grand theme of one of my most favorite authors, Philip K. Dick, a science fiction author, very prolific. He died at the age of 54, but he did have a huge output. And some of you may know his work because it's been turned into films such as Blade Runner, which was based upon his novel Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And he's a great novelist in my view. He described himself as a philosophical writer. And he said, if you read some of his letters or notes, he said that his grand theme is, or was, what is human? And his answer to that was kindness. And it's not a kind of obvious answer, but he said that is what really makes us human. So here we are looking at the purpose of theme. And this, I think, is underlies all great stories. And that if a story doesn't have a theme, if it isn't trying to answer some major question about human life, who we are, etc., then I think the story is going to be superficial. But story does have this potential. It is a way of modeling reality, answering big questions, and providing some sort of insight or pattern that we can relate to. So I'm not going to say too much more about that, but we are going to come back to theme and we're going to look at some of the important themes and issues that story can deal with, like how do we deal with fear? How do we deal with cruelty? How do we deal with injustice? All right, and I will give you some clues as to how story can treat these next week when I talk about cognitive behavioral therapy. But that's it for now. Oh, I have just one more thing that I would like to show you in honor of today's episode. I have worn my special t-shirt and I need to stand up for this, but you might just see it. And what it says, I'll turn this down and you can see human being. I rather like that. I like the irony of having to wear a t-shirt that says human being. Anyway, that's it for today, and I hope you found that interesting. Please send me your thoughts. What themes interest you? And if you're a writer, what is it that drives you? What are you trying to answer? What questions are you trying to answer? And to end, what is human? That's it.